All right, boys and girls, let's continue learning about the states of matter. Our standard says to obtain, evaluate, and communicate information about the properties of matter and changes that can occur in objects. So today let's learn about how can matter be changed. How can we change matter? All right, let's first learn by watching a video. It's called Changing Water. We know that water can change. Let's learn about it.
On Earth, everything is made up of matter. It's everything around us. Heavy rocks are made of matter, and even things we can't see, like air, are made of matter. Even your friends are made of matter. If it takes up space, then it's matter. Matter is made up of atoms and molecules, which are too tiny to see unless you have a very strong microscope. They're like tiny little building blocks that make up everything around us. To give you an idea, there are almost 10 octillion water molecules in a single drop of rain. That's a lot of zeros. Matter can be any size. It can be the size of a rocket, as huge as a mountain, or as tiny as a grain of sand. Different objects have different amounts of molecules and atoms. The kinds of atoms and molecules in matter make some things shiny, make some things heavy and hard, and make some things light and soft. There are three main states or kinds of matter: solid, liquid, or gas. A solid is something that holds its shape. Solids can be hard like a toaster, a pencil, or a cricket bat, or they can be soft like a rubber toy or a piece of clay. A solid means that the atoms are packed in really close together so they can't move, which means the object holds its shape. A liquid, on the other hand, will always change its shape. It changes shape to fit the shape of the container it's put in. A liquid can flow, which means it can be poured. So if you pour water into a fishbowl, it moves to become the shape of the fishbowl. Liquids are sometimes thick like honey or thin like water, but no matter what, they'll always flow. Atoms in a liquid can move around, but they'll stay together. A gas, like a liquid, takes the shape of the container it's in, but will also spread out to fill the container. When a balloon fills with water, the water fills up the bottom first. But when you fill it with a gas, the gas fills the whole balloon. Sometimes, matter can change states, usually by changing its temperature. If you heat ice cream, it will melt and turn to a liquid. If you make the ice cream cool again, it will then turn back to a solid. Water is unique because it's the only thing on Earth that naturally occurs in all three states: as a solid, as a liquid, and as a gas. And it can change states quite easily. Water in its most common form, as a liquid, covers about 70% of the planet. It also has no taste, smell, or color. Water constantly changes states in nature. In very cold places like the mountains, the water freezes into ice and snow. The sun then warms the frozen water, causing it to melt to liquid water. As the sun continues to heat it, the water begins to evaporate. In warmer places, the sun heats up the water faster, causing the water to evaporate more quickly. The warmer the environment, the quicker the water will evaporate. Heat from the sun warms the water. This turns the liquid water into a gas or water vapor, which rises into the air. This is known as evaporation. As the water vapor moves up higher and higher into the sky, it starts to cool down, turning back into tiny droplets of liquid water. This is known as condensation and is what causes clouds to form. As these droplets of water join together to become bigger drops, they become too heavy to stay in the air and fall back down to Earth as rain, hail, or snow. This is known as precipitation. Hail and snow are water as a solid, but they won't stay this way. Once on the ground, they'll eventually warm and melt and turn back into a liquid. This water is then evaporated up by the sun, and this goes on and on. In nature, the way water keeps changing states is called the water cycle. Rain is part of the water cycle, and from it, we collect water to drink and use in our homes. Please remember, love every drop.
Okay, changing matter. Each type of matter has its own features and properties. Sometimes you can change the features of matter. You can change solid matter by cutting, bending, or folding it. You can change it by tearing, taking it apart, or breaking it. Look at the man. How is he changing the matter? He's cutting. Right? The matter is a piece of wood or board. When you cut it, you are changing the matter. Right? Think about some matter that you can cut, bend, or fold. Maybe paper. What about Play-Doh? Yes. Tearing, taking it apart, and breaking it. All right, there are some other pieces of matter you could do that to. All right, when you do those things, do you change it? Yes, you do. You can change matter in many ways. Solid fruit can be changed into a liquid. You can make liquid orange juice, but you cannot change the juice back into solid oranges. So we can use oranges and squeeze them to make orange juice. But once we squeeze the oranges to make the orange juice, can you turn them back into oranges? No, you cannot. When you change matter, the object you changed looks different from the original shape or form. So once you squeeze it, you can't put the juice back into the orange. You've already changed the shape or form of the orange. All right, a reversible change. You can fold a piece of paper to make a different shape. You can unfold it to change it back to its original shape. Sometimes you can change matter back to what it was. Sometimes you cannot. All right, so look at the boy. He is folding his paper. He's making origami. So if you fold a piece of paper and then you unfold the piece of paper, do you still have your piece of paper? Yes, you do. Does it look exactly like it did to start with? No, it looks a little different. It will have creases in it, but do you still have the piece of paper? Yes, you do. That's called a reversible change. That means you can get it back. It may not look exactly the same, but it's pretty close to the same. Now let's look at these. Which ones are reversible? All right, the bread. Is this a reversible change once you cut the bread? All right, no, we can't put the loaf back together. What about ice? Once it thaws, Can we put the water back in the freezer and make new ice cubes? Yes, we can. So that is reversible. What about Play-Doh? Look at the Play-Doh. The child has mixed the colors. Once you mix colors in Play-Doh, can you change it? All right, once you mix the colors and smash them together, you cannot reverse it. It will change the color once you smash it together. All right, the pieces that have not been smashed in, those you can take apart and fix it. But once you smash it in there really well, that will not come out. That is not reversible. What about the Legos? You can take them apart and then put them back together. Yes, you can. Origami, the folding. Yes, you can take it back apart and try to get the creases out as best as you can. Popcorn. Can you turn popcorn back into corn kernels? No, you cannot. So that is not reversible. Combining matter. Different types of matter can be mixed together. A mixture is two or more things put together, like salads, soups, and cakes. Some mixtures can be easily separated, like picking the tomatoes out of your salad. Some are hard to separate, like taking the chocolate out of chocolate milk. All right, so think about it. Look at this picture. All right, it would be easy to pick those tomatoes out, right? All right, think about if you mix up a cake and you don't like eggs in your cake. Once you mix up the mixture, can you take the eggs out? No, it would be impossible to figure out where the eggs are in there. So some things would be easy to take out, like if you had soup and you didn't like the corn or the garden peas, you could pick those out. And then some things would be harder, like they're saying if you don't like chocolate in the milk, once you mix it up, can you take the chocolate out of the chocolate milk? No, can't be done. So some things would be easier to take out in a mixture, some would be harder. Different types of matter can be combined or mixed together in different ways to make new objects. The bricks are combined with cement to make a strong wall. Materials are chosen for a job because of their properties. All right, so look at the wall. Why do you think they chose cement to go with the bricks? It helps keep them locked together and make the wall sturdy and strong. That's right. So that's a good combination, a good mixture to put together to keep that wall strong. Combining matter. Think about a sidewalk in your neighborhood. The sidewalk is made of what? Matter. Matter is anything that takes up space. The sidewalk is a solid, but it is made up of 3 types of matter: water, sand, and cement combine and are mixed together, poured, and then hardened to form the new matter called concrete. All right, so they mixed all 3 together to make the new type of matter. Combining matter. Have you ever tasted a root beer float? It is a delicious example of combining matter. A root beer float has 3 different types of matter: solid ice cream, liquid root beer, and trapped gas bubbles called carbonation. Combining these three ingredients forms new matter. All right, so look at the picture. Guys, you can use Coke as well if you don't like root beer. All right, you can try this at home. You pour in your root beer or Coke, and then scoop your ice cream on top. All right, your carbonation from the drink will bubble up in the middle. You'll have your solid, liquid, and your gas bubbles. You'll have a solid, liquid, and gas all in one combined matter. All right, here's an investigation you can try at home. All right, if you have some Play-Doh. All right, think about the properties of clay. Guys, is clay or Play-Doh a solid, a liquid, or gas? It is a solid because it can have its own shape. Okay, you can change the shape of it, but it's because you are moving it. You are changing the matter by molding it or smashing it. So you are changing the matter. That's why it's taking a different shape. All right, how can you change it? You can roll it, press it, smash it, cut it. All right, so you can investigate. Figure out all the different ways you can change that matter. You could even mix colors. Your parents probably don't want you to mix the colors, but you could. All right, what ways could we change Play-Doh? And how could you change paper? All right, we've got the words tear, smash, cut, fold, crumple, roll, bend. All right, what could you do to paper? Could you tear paper? Yes. Could you tear Play-Doh? You don't really tear Play-Doh. All right, smash. Can you smash paper? What do we smash? Play-Doh. All right, can you cut paper? Yes. Can you cut Play-Doh? Yes, you can cut it as well. Fold. Can you fold paper? Yes. Do you fold Play-Doh? No. Crumple. Crumple paper or Play-Doh? We crumple paper. All right, roll paper or Play-Doh? We roll Play-Doh. And bend. Bend paper or bend Play-Doh? You could actually do both. All right, I'm going to have a Google form with some questions from today's lesson that you'll do as a quick check today. Do your best work.